Here are the patents Nintendo and the Pokemon Company are suing Palworld over. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the counselor's office. Kid you not, that is the headline that we are talking about today in the Counselor Reacts episode. That's right. Nintendo, we finally understand specifically what's going on. I even have my cool little Pokemon music in the background for you. Nintendo is seeking an injunction against Palworld's developer, Pocket Pair, along with a fine for the alleged patent infringement. By the way, for those who are tuning in, I'm going to read the article and I'm going to react. And it's not going to be a 3-minute read. If you want to read this, the link will be down below. I don't want to hear your stupid comments of, gee, this should be a 3-minute article. I can't believe you would take time to react to it. I'm sorry. I literally, the last time I did one of these videos, someone complained. Like, the link is not down below. Read it for yourself. It's a react, asshole. Palworld developer Pocket Pair has revealed the patents at the center of the infringement lawsuit Nintendo and the Pokemon Company filed in Japan back in September. Pocket Pair has also shared that in addition to 5 million yen each plus the late fees. Isn't that funny how it's like plus late fees? How can it be late? What? They're seeking an injunction against the game and compensation. Like, if you, like, I'm sorry, can someone legally tell me how they can be forced to pay late fees when they literally just got sued? They're seeking an injunction against the game and compensation for a portion of the damages incurred between the date of registration of the patent and the date of the filing of the lawsuit. Now, I don't know what injunction means. What does injunction of a game imply? Injunction. Listen, sometimes you gotta learn. A written grant by a court of equity whereby one is required to do or refrain from doing a specific act. The act or instance of enjoining. That doesn't help me at all. How's this? Can I get an example? I feel like we're doing a spelling bee. Injunction is a court order requiring a person or entity to either cease doing or start doing some other specific action. Okay, so they're saying the game can't exist anymore. Got it. Thank you. Again, sometimes I have to learn too. It's okay. Sometimes ignorance is just not knowing, and the right thing is to look for it, the answer. The Pokemon Company cites 3 Japanese patents. Number whatever this is, I'm going to just numbers. From the translation of the claims, they appear to describe Pokemon-style activities, with 191 focused on the act of throwing a ball at characters in a field. No shot. You just described baseball. Act of throwing a ball at characters in a field. Do you know how? Do you know how, like, undefined that is? They even, like, what is this? It's a dinosaur. What? They're showing dinosaurs as an example. What? You're catching okay. Wait, is this confirmed? Is this confirmed that Nintendo is going to make a dinosaur catching simulator? Is this confirmed? Wow. Okay. 117 tied to aiming and 390 on riding characters. They could sue so many games for that, though. How are these patents? How do you own writing characters? How do you aiming? Literally, they could sue Call of Duty for aiming. We'll have to dig more deeply into the original Japanese patent language and Japanese patent law to understand how strong these patents might be in the lawsuit. However, Nintendo and the Pokemon Company lawsuit landed 9 months ago after Palworld's launch broke Steam records and racked up an impressive 12 million copies sold within its first month. Shortly after the launch, Nintendo released a statement saying that it was aware of Palworld and would be investigating claims that the game ripped off Pokemon designs, which is not even the lawsuit. For anyone that's like, we told you so. No, it has nothing to do with the designs. Other elements of Nintendo's monster catching game, the suit has led to the delay of Palworld's Japanese PS5 launch. Yeah, Nintendo's not going to, or PlayStation's not going to touch that. but it hasn't stopped the development of a mobile port of the game licensed by PUBG mobile publisher Krafton. To close the announcement, Pocket Bear said, "We will continue to assert our position in this case through future legal proceedings." This is The Verge, so the link will be down below. I'm just going to see if anyone else has anything else. Anyone else? Let's go IGN. This one looks like it's an IGN about IGN. Okay, that's not what I want. I just want to know the specific patents. Okay, these are the patents, but they're not explaining. All 3 patents successful requests to modify previously established patents. Each notice. Okay, looking up at those patents, the first alludes to a system where a player aims, fires an item towards a character in a field. In doing so, triggers combat and then dives into extraordinarily intricacies about switching between modes with this. You can't own throwing an item and getting into a combat. You could throw a spear. You could consider spear being part of it. Bro, I hope Nintendo lose this. I hope they lose. They have been doing nothing but scummy. Oh crap. Like, they are so scummy. And we're going to get to another topic that's going to conjoin with this. So hang in with me. But I have lost all respect for Nintendo. And I know a lot of people already have, because they've obviously torched the Mario Party, or not Mario Party, the Smash Bros. Party scene with like tournaments and all this other legalese bullcrap that they're trying to do. Like I've lost all respect for Nintendo, and I'm all about pirating. Absolutely. I will pirate Nintendo games all day long if they're old. Maybe new, depending on like some of the new stuff that they're trying to do. All 3 patents are successfully requested to modify previously established patents, each noticeably. Oh, wait, we skipped one. The second was very similar, but it seems more directly focused on tweaking previous patents to include being able to capture Pokemon in the wild rather than only during battle. The third, rather widely, seems to try to claim a modification to the invention of riding creatures in an open world and being able to transition between them easily. Dude, how many games have this in them? Like Ark Survival has this. You can't own that. For the love of God, someone needs, like, I know that this is like Japan, and they're like there's some patents waiting in US. I hope those get denied, by the way. I hope they just straight up deny them, so that there's this overseas war and we can say screw you, Nintendo. All 3 patents are successfully requested to modify previously established patents, each noticeably designed to match the newer features and more recent Pokemon games. Given the first games to feature these details, Pokemon Legends, Arceus and Scarlet and Violet came out in 2022, which this was great. These were ass now that I look back at it. These might be thought of as belated changes. However, according to one Japanese patent lawyer, these changes would have been added in order to better frame the previously established inventions, rushed through in order to pursue the case. Of course they was. They wanted like, oh, they're doing the thing that we wanted to do, but we didn't patent it, so now we're gonna patent it so we can get their ass. Breaking news: patent ideas is grotesque. Pocket Bear ads will continue. Yeah, they're very grotesque. They're going to continue to fight. It's obviously some significant note that legal action was announced just 2 months after Pocket Bear announced it had to team up with Sony to create. This is why they did it, because they knew if it got launched on Sony, oh baby, they'd be screwed. Because you would have Microsoft and Sony. Ooh, Nintendo knew that their balls would be crushed. Create a new company to merchandise the game's pals. The indie developer has always been enormously confident in it isn't violating any Nintendo copyright, while at the same time loudly encouraging others to copy and clone its game. Yeah, so they're saying, hey, you can clone our game. What? You can clone our game. Yeah, it's crazy. By the way, this is from Kotaku. Link will be down below as well, so you can check this out and read the whole thing as I skipped a bunch of it. Now, that was one thing. Nintendo, scummy old Japanese farts, just like we have scummy old white dudes in the US government. Like, I'm gonna call out scummy old dudes in charge who shouldn't be in charge, and here we are. Now let's continue on to more scummy. In the new Nintendo lawsuit, they now claim they can sue people just for playing Switch games in an emulator. It doesn't matter where you got them. Plaintiff repeats and realleges every allegation contained in paragraph 1 through 94 as if fully set forth within. In general sense, prohibits circumvention of technological measures that effectively controls access to work protected by Copyright Act. Nintendo technology measures effectively control access to works protected by the Copyright Act, including minimum. So this, from what I can see, if we just go to the whole shebang bang, linking to Switch emulators is also illegal according to Nintendo, and they can sue you for that. According to Nintendo, you can send someone a link to an emulator is trafficking. Wow. And this apparently is a streamer that was challenging Nintendo, but by the way, don't challenge Nintendo. But just don't. That's stupid because they're the bull that if you shake right in front of them, they will go after you. Like, you don't screw with Nintendo because they are petty. They don't care. Wasn't this something done before and the courts decided that using emulators to play your own dumped ROMs was legal? Like, they can go after the emulator makers for code, but people are allowed to play their legally acquired ROMs. That was decades ago before companies like Nintendo started implementing modern encryption techniques. The legal argument Nintendo is making is that circumventing those encryption techniques is what makes it now legal. So you can play old stuff, but the new stuff, no, because now we made sure you can't emulate. But if you do emulate, even though you own it, sorry, you can't do that. And they just did. The image is from an actual lawsuit they filed against someone. Not a fan of Nintendo doing this, but given the streamer's attitude, I think he deserves it. His fault for Nintendo going extreme. Taunting Nintendo, monetizing unauthorized gameplay. Again, you don't shake a red flag in front of the bull. Because what is the bull gonna do? It's gonna give you the horns. And this guy, who I don't even know who this is, to come out on the rise distribution of gameplay. Nintendo says it sent dozens of games. They take down notices to have King's stream removed due to multiple strikes. Both YouTube terminated King's channel, but Nintendo says that the King continue to thumb his nose at the company in law. Listen, I get it. If they screwed me over, I would say screw you. I'm going to screw you, and that seems like what he did. But this is Nintendo. It's a lose-lose situation. Complaints further alleged that Captain King's monetized YouTube account was set to be shut down. He added a cash app handle in order to profit from streaming Nintendo's games. You mess with the bull, you are not only going to get the horns, but you're going to get every inch up your rectum. Nintendo wants to make sure that this guy suffers. Don't be this guy. Don't challenge Nintendo. We live in a day and age where you are not safe. And this is scary. What this sets is a precedent that they might use in the future for other people. Because how are you going to tell that it's emulated? What if they could just lie, and if they don't like your gameplay or your commentary on, they could just copyright you and say that, oh, you're emulating and we're going to sue you. Like, I want you all to realize this. Like, unless you are actively showing that you're emulating a game, there's no real way to show, to really know. And so they could just straight up lie and say that you're emulating their game, even if they don't have evidence. And it's Nintendo. How are you going to stop them? They're going to shut you down. So they can actually silence people with this. And it's a scary thought that Nintendo's about to get more leverage in their arsenal. And I guarantee it's not going to stop there. They're going to try to shut down other emulators. It's going to happen. I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to do it, that they're going to try to shut down other emulators. So now's the time. I have already started downloading a bunch of old games, like from different consoles, and I'm uploading them to like a hard drive. I'm looking into like for Game Boy games. I'm looking for portable Game Boys that they've now been making that you can. I'm going to try to dump as much of these old games into files that I can keep forever. That way, when they do make it to where you can't have emulators anymore, because it seems like Nintendo wants that, and other game developers are going to try to jump suit on that because they realize that people are playing older games more. I'm going to make sure that my kids can play some older games that I don't have to spend $1,000 or $100,000 on to get copies of. because they're not being made anymore. I know that sounds extreme, but like, that's Nintendo. Nintendo is extreme. Like, wake up. There's nothing off the table for Nintendo. There's nothing. Nintendo literally sent a cease and desist to a local tournament saying that they couldn't stream it or they can't do anything like tournament wise. Like, Nintendo has to give a license to them to be able to do that if there's money involved. Like, that's so stupid. Imagine Microsoft saying, no, you can't have a LAN tournament of Halo 2. It would never do that. This will be my destiny after Nintendo finds out I've been pirating their 30-year-old games on my phone. Yep. No judge in their right mind would rule in favor of Nintendo. At least I'd hope not. That's too far an overreach. I agree. I would countersue for harassment. The problem is a lot of this, unless you have money, you're not going to be able to survive against Nintendo because they're just going to drag out the lawsuit. They're going to make you go bankrupt. It's called bullying. It's bullying. That's what they're doing. They're trying to rob you, run you dry, and send a message. That's all it is, man. Nintendo being the most pathetic company as per usual. Yep. Well, as they say in law school, the papers accept anything. The court is a different story. As a big Nintendo fan who always gets their games and consoles, I want to say F Nintendo and all their tactics. They've been anti-consumer since Iwata died. He's rolling in his grave right now. Joke's on them. I only use an emulator anymore because I'm tired of buying $80 controllers that last a few months. Much better experience usually. I would agree. Here, I'm going to be on. You want the truth? I pirated Tears of the Kingdom. I spent like $80 on controllers that broke, and I was like, I'm not spending any more on my Nintendo Switch. I'm not doing it anymore, man. Just not doing it. So I pirated Tears of the Kingdom. Now I did go back and purchase it because it was worth the money. Absolutely. It was the first Zelda game I ever played, and was the first game I ever bought for Zelda. But man, I understand the feel. I see you having fun. Don't make me call the police. Just for playing them in an emulator? Yep. Does Nintendo want to cause a gaming crash? If this goes through, the president alone will cause huge damage to the relationship between companies and gamers. The Japanese oligarchy are too cocky. They forget the rest of the world isn't sucking them off 24/7. I don't think they care. In fact, it would be in the interest of other developers if emulators were completely abolished, because then people wouldn't pirate their games anymore. And they wouldn't have to worry about that. Like, yep. Jesus Christ, people can't put their ideas into a Nintendo game. Nintendo needs to chill. Yeah, cool story, not going to happen, but the biggest issue is that the Switch 2 games will be jailbroken from the get-go, and why they're trying to go so hard on this. Yeah, a lot of people, like, just a tidbit, a lot of people are saying that the reason why they're going hard on the emulators, because Nintendo's 2, the Switch 2 will be the same, and so you can immediately get access and probably pirate Switch games. Like, if you have access to a Switch emulator and it's functioning, people are going to be able to pirate and play like the new Pokemon Day 1 on PC. Which, not saying I will do that, but I will absolutely do that. I will absolutely do that. Don't get me wrong, I will buy the new game too, but I will play it on PC where the graphics can be up. Like, I can mod the crap out of it. Absolutely. But I'm definitely going to, if it's possible, I will be definitely, as I purchase a digital copy, I will be playing a digital copy on my PC for better quality. I'm going to make sure you pay for it. Nintendo will be like, yep. All right, that's the end of the video. We're ranting. We're reading a lot of comments, but let me know what you think down below. I think we can all agree Nintendo is a douchebag company. I have zero respect for them. I used to be like, yeah, good guy Nintendo. They know what the gamers want. No, they don't. They're just douchebags. So hit the like button, comment down below, and let me know what you think. All the links to the articles will be down below for your faces. As always, don't forget to game out.